I'm your cult boyfriend. We're going to be looking at the 150 greatest science fiction movies of all time from Rolling Stone. I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi personally. I think I may have liked the genre more when I was younger, but I haven't really been paying too much attention to sci-fi movies. At least in my 30s, I haven't really cared about them. I really like The Faculty. I love Serenity, the Joss Whedon film, and I love Star Trek, Wrath of Khan, right? I love what do I love? What do I even love? I love a lot of episodes of The Twilight Zone. I love that. I love those. Death Ship from the fourth season of The Twilight Zone when they did hour-long episodes. Death Ship's one of my favorite episodes. Um, man, it's a big intro. I'm happy for you or sorry that happened. I'm not reading all that though. Tank Girl. Okay, cool. See, I haven't thought about Tank Girl since I was 15 years old. I think it's awesome. Lori Petty for life, bro. Like Tank Girl's really fun. I even like the comic it was based on. I think it's a really rebellious movie. It's a very fun movie, anarchic and lovely, and Ice-T plays a fucking kangaroo in it. It's good. It's good. The Omega Man. Is this another one of the this is like the I Am Legend one, right? The Omega Man is the one I like least, and then I Am Legend, which I also don't really like. The one I do like is Vincent Price's. Is it like The Last Man on Earth or something? Something like that. I've watched it a couple times, but for some reason I can't remember the exact title. The Vincent Price version is my go-to when it comes to that story. Demolition Man. Hell yeah. Forgot about you. Oh, the sci-fi movie. I love Total Recall. Total Recall is one of my favorites. One of my favorite sci-fi movies. Total Recall. That this has to be on that list. I love this movie. Total Recall is fascinating. I like it more and more the more that I think about it. And for some reason, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. It's my favorite Paul Verhoeven film. So yeah, Demolition Man is so cool. Wesley Snipes is so underrated in it. Simon Phoenix is one of the coolest action movie villains of all time. And the movie is goofy and funny, and Sandra Bullock is cute, and it's fucking crazy, dude. I watched it way too many times growing up. I think that I probably know most of the words of this movie. Almost every line of dialogue, I think I know. It's really fun. Species, yeah, fuck yeah. Dude, bro, she is amazing. Oh my God, Natasha Henstridge, bro, dude, bro. That, I sound like an idiot, but that's what she reduces men to within this film. She's incredible in this film, and I think that species, like, I think it speaks to those more primal and even exploitative aspects of the sci-fi genre that I feel aren't tapped into enough recently. Like I I enjoy I enjoy the more exploitative qualities of science fiction. I think that science fiction often hides behind like pseudo intelligence, which makes the films just so unappealing to me. Like I don't want to be locked in a room with a Reddit moderator for 2.5 hours. I'd rather be watching Species, bro. Like that's such a cool movie. That's a cool ass movie. Okay, I'm really down with Species. That movie fucking kicks ass. The Running Man. I haven't watched it in a very long time, but I remember liking it. Remember it was cool. I like The Running Man. The Last Starfighter. I didn't like this movie even when I was growing up. Even when I was growing up, I thought this shit was lame. Hitchhiker's Guide to the movie? The movie? I love the Douglas Adams book series, but the movie? I think the movie is wonderfully cast, but it was pretty underwhelming. What? Men in Black's cool. Men in Black is fucking cool. If anyone tells you that the first Men in Black isn't cool, he's a fucking cop, bro. Like, don't listen to him. Men in Black 1 is awesome. I like Men in Black 2 as well. I think Men in Black is a really fun movie. That's a good ass blockbuster, man. It's a quality blockbuster. It's really funny and it's cool. Zany and Linda Fiorentino running around there. What's not to like? Vincent D'Onofrio freaking out as a cockroach drinking some water and sugar. That movie is baller. Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. Okay, I might skip ahead here. Idiocracy. I wish people would stop referencing Idiocracy. Not everything is Idiocracy, people, but I guess as a movie, it's fine. As a cultural phenomenon, it's not. And the people who reference Idiocracy the most are are the ones who are most guilty of perpetuating it. Have you noticed that? The ones who are like, "This is just like Idiocracy." They're the biggest fucking idiots I've ever met. It's ironic. Dune. Well, I guess it's 140. You had to fill it up with something. It's a terrible movie. Independence Day. I don't really know what's so special about it. It's schlocky, but there's some good stuff in there. Did I make you go away, Nikki? Ah, and I just did this gray shit. I'd rather just have Nikki. Thank you. I'll keep Nikki. Fucking advertisements, man. Bill and Ted, really not Zardoz. Bro, come on. Tron's cool. Tron's fucking good. This movie is good. I like Tron Legacy a lot more. Olivia Wilde for the fucking win, bro. Huge crush on Olivia Wilde, specifically in that movie, though. Like that movie's awesome. And I saw it 3D IMAX when it came out, and it was just bro, orgasmic. Fucking Tron Legacy was so cool. Oh my god, the Killian Murphy cameo as this guy's son, right? Was his name like Dillinger or something? Something like that. The primary villain of the first film, he played his son, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait for the sequel that we never got. The laser bikes, the light bikes, right, dude? They are so cool. When I saw it in Tron Legacy, it was a dream come true because that's how I imagined it was when I was a kid. And I would imagine being on the light bike and just, oh my god, it's so fun. It is so cool, man. Tron Legacy was awesome, and you had fucking Daft Punk providing all the music for it. It was such a perfect movie. Tron Legacy was amazing. Add Tron Legacy to one of my favorite science fiction movies. That shit was awesome. I'm so happy I watched that in the theater. You can IMAX and 3D, real D, baby. Fuck yeah. Olivia Wilde. You Fox, bro. What? Bro, she is literally the stuff of like sci-fi nerd dreams. She's so cool. And, fucking smoke show over here, bro. Yeesh. I'm I've been distracted from the list. I don't want to go back to the list. I just want to stay on this page. I just want to look at Olivia Wilde and Tron Legacy. It's a good movie. Look at that haircut. I love the bangs, bro. Like, dude, dude, dude. Possibly the hottest any woman's ever looked, bro. Hi, I'm back. I skipped to number 45 though. Um, because 150, that's way too many. Right, a trip to the moon. Méliès. It's a nice gesture to put him on this list. I don't think you're really saying much with his inclusion, but I mean, Méliès is fine. Glad you glad you saw fit to include him here. Keep the legacy alive, baby. Gravity. It's okay. They Live is also just okay, honestly. I never watched Back to the Future. Videodrome's amazing. I love Videodrome. Yeah, favorite sci-fi. I forgot Cronenberg is a sci-fi guy. I like Scanners. I like Videodrome. I like. Come on, come on. What are the other sci-fi Cronenberg movies that are good? Maybe it's just those two. Maybe it's just Videodrome and scanners, but I really like those. Videodrome's amazing. Debbie Harry and James Woods are so fucking phenomenal in the film, and of course Cronenberg's direction is to die for. Terminator, very good movie. I love Wally. Wally fucking rules, man. I'm not too cool to say that this movie is a fucking blast. It's a banger. I think it's the only Pixar movie I can truly call great. I like Wall-E and I like Monsters Inc. and I think those are the only two that I like. And I don't like Monsters Inc. for any serious reasons. I love it in a very unserious way. Wall-E, though, I think this is excellent. It's an excellent film. It's so. I love the atmosphere of the piece. I love the messaging of the piece. I love the direction of it. I love the colors and the design. I think generally speaking, Wall-E is a pristine quality. I think it's excellent. Inception sucks. Godzilla's okay. Forbidden Planet, man, give me something to talk about. Her is bad. Well, my personal theory is that Her is since it was made by Spike Jonze, and I think that it's a secret response to Sofia Coppola's much better film Lost in Translation. Lost in Translation featured Giovanni Ribisi in it, and it wasn't a very likable performance or character. And it's pretty clearly based on Spike Jonze, whom Sofia Coppola was married to at the time. And Her, I think that it's plainly obvious, not simply because the disembodied voice that Spike Jonze selects is Scarlett Johansson's, who was Sofia Coppola's muse in Lost in Translation, but because it's such a pathetic fucking film that it's like, oh no, you don't understand the insecurities and the loneliness inside of me. I think that Her is completely pathetic. I think that Spike Jonze is a lot like Charlie Kaufman in the sense that when they're not together, all they produce is shit. When they're together, they make great stuff. Being John Malkovich is a postmodern masterwork, essentially. But Her is a terrible movie. And like I think it's like selfish and I think I think it's low key like hateful and pathetic. It's just such a desperate film. And not simply because desperation is one of the themes of the film, but I think that Spike Jonze is just a desperate and pathetic filmmaker sometimes. And that's one of those times. Aliens rock. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I like The Faculty more. The Faculty is superior. Give me Kevin Williamson and Robert Rodriguez any day of the week. I will always choose Kevin Williamson. Kira, anime is not good, guys. Hate to be the one to tell you this. Oh, Legette. There's another one. Legette's great, but also 12 Monkeys. Yeah, Terry Gilliam's a sci-fi guy. I'm starting to remember all the sci-fi guys. Uh, I'm not a huge fan of like Richard Kelly's Southland Tales, but it is a fascinating film. I'd include it on my list because it's great for discourse. There's a lot of great thoughts in there. The problem with Southland Tales is that there's also a lot of terrible thoughts in there, but it's really cool. It's a really cool movie. Southland Tales would be on my own personal list. So would 12 Monkeys, which is loosely based on Legette, the Chris Marker film. Oh, this is a beautiful film though. Like this is like outrageously good. I love it. I love it. It is haunting. It is beautiful. It's told in like still images, and it's just such a special and all absorbing kind of film. But I said haunting, and I really need to like restate that. I think it's an incredibly haunting film that lives forever within your soul, which I think is poetic since it's a short that has a lot to say about time as a concept, as a seemingly physical part of our material world. Fury Road, yeah, it's good. If you haven't noticed, I've gone by a lot of them pretty quickly. It means I've talked about them in a recent video, and I just don't want to spend too much time on them. Fury Road's really good. It's great, even. Ex Machina, okay. Okay stuff. Brazil, I always thought that was one of the more overrated Terry Gilliam movies, personally. But it's cool, but it's whatever. Like I would like 12 Monkeys or even Time Bandits more. Alphaville, I love that Godard is on this list. Alphaville is one of my like it's one of the films of his I like the least, especially within his 60s work, which is just full of monumental achievements. I think Alphaville is the least impressive film of that period. Uh I love that he's here though. I love that Godard is here and he's so high up. So I love the Godard representation, but I don't love that film. The Fly. Oh, Cronenberg. I knew I was missing one. That's a beautiful movie. And of course, like a huge part of its subtext is sexually transmitted diseases or even the AIDS epidemic. It's fucking great. It is so good. Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis are remarkable in the film. This film is really good. I need to rewatch this almost immediately. I haven't watched it in so long, but it's easily one of the most enjoyable films ever made. It's so good, man. Love that movie. Quartermass in the Pit. Sorry, y'all have not watched that one. Minority Report sucks. I hate it. Like, that's one of Spielberg's worst movies. I have no idea why it's so, like, popular. I get if you like the concept of, like, the future police or whatever. Like, I get if you like that concept. But it doesn't take a precog to tell you that this movie was gonna fucking blow, all right? Like, Minority Report is stupid. It's a cool concept, but give that credit to Philip K. Dick. Leave Spielberg and Cruise the fuck out of that kind of praise. Minority Report is a really poorly put together movie. Its narrative system isn't just simplistic. I don't think it fucking works or adds up cinematically. I don't think this movie is good from any angle that you approach it. It's one of the worst Spielberg films. It's really bad. I don't like it. Um, but saying Philip K. Dick's name reminded me of, Blade Runner, one of the biggest sci-fi movies ever made. I really like that one. Snowpiercer, I don't like though. Empire Strikes Back. I'm not a Star Wars guy. This is fucking fantasy to me. Like I don't connect with this. Things all right. Now we're in the top 20. Solaris. Okay. That's a Tarkovsky film that I think I still enjoy wholeheartedly. I've kind of had a 180 on Tarkovsky where I don't really like his self-serious Christian films. And that's what like it's like all that he made. And Solaris, I think, is his best film. And I know that Tarkovsky says this is the film of his that he likes the least, and I respond with, "Well, that's his fucking problem and not mine. This film's amazing. Natalia Bondarchuk was legendary, so gorgeous, so sexy, so scary, so tragic. I love this movie to death. I'm pretty positive. I haven't watched it in a few years, and I've revisited other Tarkovsky films like Andrei Rublev and Stalker and Nostalgia, and I don't like those anymore, like at all. Like I'm not the same kind of person who first fell in love with those movies. Now they don't register at all, and I find them like almost violently disagreeable. Solaris, I'm pretty confident saying that I love this movie still. Like it's still a masterwork of science fiction and of Soviet cinema. Like I do love Solaris, I think. I think there's no issue here. It would be on my list. There is a huge part of me though that's afraid to rewatch it because I want to keep it perfect in my brain. Because there's so much perfection in it within my memory. I love Solaris. It's saying so many things about identity, about loss, about eroticism, even, which is unique within a fucking Tarkovsky movie. The film has a lot to say about eroticism, about eroticism and death, and the entanglement of the two. I love Planet of the Apes. Yeah, the first one's great. Well, actually, I think I like the most of the original films. I like the original Planet of the Apes series. It's really good. This is really good. I know that Rod Serling had something to do with the writing of it, and it does feel like a Twilight Zone style kind of film, which is excellent. Which is what I like, what I prefer. I love that. Planet of the Apes is great. Another Invasion of the Body Snatchers from the 70s. This one is better than the one we covered earlier, but I still think that The Faculty is much better. The Faculty is guaranteed to jack you up. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind at 17 is startling to me. Seeing it at 17 feels wrong. It doesn't feel right being this high. First time I ever watched it, I was very stoned, and I was 14, and I think like my I had my first serious relationship, meaning that I was with her for at least 8 months. Like we broke up, and then that night I got high and by myself went to the movie theater and saw this movie, and it fucking fucked me up, dude. It was such a fucked up experience, bro. T2, love me some T2. Love it. Perfectly made blockbuster. What the fuck is this shit, bro? Like, how is this at 15? Edge of Tomorrow's okay. Does not belong at 15. Like, how on earth is that above T2? Rolling Stone, you are a very unserious website at the moment. Arrival. I know a lot of people like this, but how come how come we're getting so many fucking modern movies? Why? The Man Who Fell to Earth. It's okay. It's very, very okay. The Earth Stood Still? List is giving me fucking whiplash, bro. Like, I feel like I'm being hit from every single direction. It's not like a fluid list, man. Ah, remember the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still with Keanu Reeves and Jennifer Connelly? Remember that shit? That was something. Starship Troopers at 11? You gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be fucking joking right now. Why is it so high? Do people really think that Starship Troopers is one of the very best of the sci-fi genre? What the fuck? What the fuck is that? People really think that? People think that Starship Troopers is better than Total Recall and RoboCop? Like what are we doing? What are we doing? Why is it at number 11? That's so dumb. Oh my god. I wish it Why do people love to talk about Starship Troopers, man? I think it's such a boring The Matrix, whatever, number 10. Star Wars at number 9. So, like, what's gonna be number 1? 2001? We're gonna be boring as fuck right now? Metropolis. I urge everyone to rewatch it. It's not that great. It's really not. It's not close to my favorite Fritz Lang movie. M is clearly his masterpiece, and then I like The Testament of Dr. Mabuse, and I like Ministry of Fear, and The Big Heat. Oh my god, The Big Heat. He has so many other films that are so much better. Metropolis, I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's very good. I think that I think that it's very good for a baby's first silent movie. I think that people who don't know a lot of different like films, like who aren't very educated in silent cinema, like Metropolis. That's because they don't really have a good selection to choose from. I think that yeah, it's great for your very first silent movie, but compared to a lot of other films, like long before this one came out, it's not really that inventive feeling, and I don't think it's really that prescient. I don't like Metropolis very much. There of course there are interesting ideas. Fritz Lang was a master director, absolutely, absolutely. But I don't think Metropolis is a particularly great film. I really don't. Children of Men, I forgot this movie existed. I liked it a lot in 2006. If we're talking about Alfonso Cuarón, his best film, without a doubt, is Y Tu Mama Tambien from 2001. That's a masterpiece of teen film. It's so fucking great. That's a great movie. Children of Men composition kind of weighs down on me. Like I'm not really. I find the composition distracting the older that I get, and the less that I'm into like flashy or like self-satisfied techniques, like cinema techniques. And man, I don't know. It's a good movie. I can't act like it's not. It's just the older I get, the more it represents a kind of self-indulgent filmmaking that I don't care about. And also like extravagant or flamboyant filmic composition can be really good if it informs the story, but I don't think that that any of that informs Children of Men. When Julian Moore is shot in the film and they drive away all crazy and they have that camera in the center rotating around. Like, what's the point of that except to draw attention to the artifice of the film itself? Like, you're taking me out of it. Same with all the long shots. You're taking me out of the action, out of the drama to remind me that you're talented. There are a lot of things that I think stand in the way of Children of Men being a truly great film, and the biggest thing that stands in its way is its self-gratifyingly motivated director. But you can, like, if the film's own self-reference calls for flamboyant composition, you can get away with that. You can get away with that. Like look at Birdman. I think Birdman is great, and it's all that long shot kind of shit. And like Scorsese does long shots all the time. So does Paul Thomas Anderson. But those films typically ask for self-reference within those moments. Like those moments call attention to its own frameworks for a purpose. Children of Men, I think, misuses like the Steadicam, misuses all of the different flamboyant and kind of outrageous camera techniques that it attempts to use, the cinematic or compositional techniques. I don't think it's a very well made movie. I think it's an overmade movie. It's an overcomposed movie. And I think that maybe a more nuanced or subtle approach may have made the film feel more immediate. It may have made the actual substance and themes of the film feel more haunting. But I'm just constantly reminded of its superficiality. So, I mean, it's good. I gotta say, it is good. It is good. I have a lot of issues with its composition, I suppose, with its direction. Under the Skin, at number six, Alien, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's fine. Blade Runner, okay, hell yeah. Blade Runner, fucking great movie. Love it so much. It's excellent. It's an excellent movie. It's films like Blade Runner that make me go, oh man, maybe Ridley Scott is a genius. And then, all of his other films make me realize that he's not. I'm kidding. I like Alien and Gladiator as well. But I can never decide if Ridley Scott is like a master or if he's just like fucking throwing everything at the wall and then something like Blade Runner sticks every once in a while. Regardless, Blade Runner is excellent. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I love that Francois Truffaut is such an integral part of this film. He was awesome in this movie. I love Truffaut. That's one of my personal favorite filmmakers, so it's cool seeing him there. Whatever, man. I've been criticizing Spielberg heavily lately. I'll give him Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That's fine. Who cares, man? That's fine. That's fine. I think it's like I think it's a deeply confused film. Okay, thematically, structurally, compositionally, but who cares? Who cares? It's good. Number three, number three, though, I'm not a sci-fi expert, but I feel like this is way too high. Number two, Stalker. Stalker has gotten so much more popular just within the last 10 years. It has seen such a huge resurgence in popularity. It's not even funny. Like, it's real. Like, I go to the bar and I meet people who are even younger than me, and they know all about Stalker. Everyone knows about Stalker. Tarkovsky is slowly becoming, ironically, a household name in the mid 2020s, which I guess is interesting. That makes you go, okay, well, what is Tarkovsky speaking to? And what frightens me most is that people are responding to the qualities of Tarkovsky that I find the most disagreeable and unintelligible. So that sucks. That sucks. I think he is speaking to the spiritual curiosity of a lot of people in a futuristic and often gloomy looking universe. I think he's speaking to the pessimistic nature of a lot of people these days, which I don't like. Come on. I would rather have Spielberg's completely confused optimism than Tarkovsky's over articulated pessimism. Because Tarkovsky can be really convincing. And I don't think films like Stalker are valuable at all. Yeah, I'd rather have I mean, if it comes down to it, dude, I will champion Close Encounters of the Third Time day and night. over something like Stalker because I think that yeah, I would rather have the confused optimism of Spielberg than the pessimism of Tarkovsky. And someone's going to be in the comments saying that like Tarkovsky's not pessimistic. You're not reading it correctly. No, that's what he wants you to believe. He wants you to believe that like tiny miracles and like tiny signs from God exist, and that's enough reason to suffer. But he's wrong. He's absolutely wrong. Don't let anyone tell you that you should suffer. Don't. And if the God that you believe in forces you to suffer, abandon him immediately. Come on. This is so much better than that. Make fucking mashed potato alien structures with Richard Dreyfuss and Francois Truffaut. Live the life of the confused optimist. Confused optimism. I'm gonna start to defend that a lot more. Yeah, number one's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Snore. Not the movie. Not the movie. I don't think it's boring. I mean snore or yawn in the sense that it's like very typical for it to be number one. Like no surprises here. And I'm sure you don't want to hear me talk about 2001 because it's one of the most discussed films ever made. Even if I try to be edgy, there's nothing I can say that is surprising when it comes to 2001. It's the discourse, the well has run dry for that. Okay, 2001, whatever. You know everything you need to know about it. I think it's well made, but I don't vibe with it much. In the simplest of terms, that's how I feel about that movie. Well, okay, I not sure if I like science fiction movies a great deal. I guess I like what you could call goofy goofy science fiction movies or less self-serious ones. I like confused and optimistic science fiction movies, which I guess don't tend to be the most beloved movies. But I feel like something like Stalker or 2001 hides behind a pseudo-intelligence that I find unattractive. Whereas something even like Close Encounters, or I was really excited at the beginning of this list in like the 150s when we were talking about Men in Black and Demolition Man and Tron Legacy. Like that's the stuff I really like. That's the stuff I really respond to. And I think that that's the stuff that's most helpful to not only cinema itself but to the general audience. I like the confused optimism of science fiction more than the deranged pessimism of of so many of the films that like people love so much. Science fiction's cool, obviously speaks to cultural anxieties. Sometimes I wish that the genre were more nuanced. It's a genre that seems to be as subtle as a brick in the small of your back. So let's end this call and end this conversation. Like it there's a lot there's a lot to science fiction. I'm not, I don't think I'm really going to talk about too many sci-fi movies. I'm going to leave the sci-fi discourse to the sci-fi lovers because that list didn't excite me very much. I guess I love teen movies. I love action movies and horror movies and rom-coms. And those genres are enough for me personally because nothing on that list really outside of Olivia Wilde being really sexy. Nothing really excited me going through that list. So, I don't know. I still had a fun time making this video and maybe you did too. Maybe you did too. Maybe I did provide some decent insight. But I don't think this is a genre that really speaks to me. But thanks for figuring that out with me.